the cloud. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen one. Hopefully you can see I am showing a PowerPoint with housekeeping. Let me also keep my chat window open here. So in case if any one of you are asking any questions. Okay, so I will start with a little bit of housekeeping and then we will go through the session today. As I mentioned, there are about 200 students in this class, and there is the proficiency level on different technologies which we are going to use are a little bit varying. So I will go today over HTML, PHP, and DB databases. We'll go HTML a little faster because most of, I think we saw about 70% of you know it. PHP will take a little bit extra time because you guys have not looked at PHP during your course. And databases, again, I believe most of you are proficient, so we will go a little bit faster on databases. And then tomorrow we would actually do the Open AI API integration, which is actually our last session. So let's see how it goes today and tomorrow. If you guys are done maybe tomorrow, then we don't have to go to the fourth session on Saturday. If not, then we will continue on the fourth session. So that's why I'm just putting number of sessions. Can you guys answer on the chat if you were able to create a website account and OpenAI API account? Can you guys reply as yes or no on the chat? Let me bring the chat window also here so we can see. Okay, great. Others? Anyone who had problem creating the website account or OpenAI account? Let me ask the question differently. Anyone had a problem? You don't have an OpenAI account? So if I'm not hearing any answer, that means all of you have the accounts. Is that correct? Or yeah, try not to annotate. Even after new account, we still can't chat using temperature high and less. We still okay. Make the account. So Shreya, let's maybe discuss this. Remind me during the course. Why don't we, let me stop share. Share, can you show me what's happening with yours and then while people are joining? I think you should be able to share. I have allowed everyone to share today. I am actually Shreya Muley. I saw that you said even after new AI account. Okay, now I see you are sharing. Okay, so I do see, I think it's saying that you have reached your usage limit. So probably you will have to give a credit card on this. Maybe you had been using this earlier and that's why you are not able to.
It's a
Are you
new
able
account.
to?
I just made now.
How about others? I think I see here. Shubham, you said made the account. Are you able to have it working, or did you also get the same issue? Shubham? You should be able to unmute yourself and talk. Okay, anyone else who had problems in creating the OpenAI account? Because if you don't have the account, it will be difficult to tomorrow to create the code. I see a few folks here, Snehal, Chetan, Pritam, Yash. Are you guys able to make your account? You can reply on the chat. Okay, looks like everyone is still sleeping. Okay, Snehal is good. And Snehal, are you seeing the same issue on the billing, or do you have the API or the key? You can reply on chat.
I have.
Yeah, go ahead, Pranav. Okay, would like this to be a little interactive, guys, so that you, I know that you have created your accounts. So, Nehal, I was asking, did you have a billing issue, or is your account working? Maybe you can reply on chat. Anyone else? Okay, no problems now. Anyone else had an issue creating the account, or you guys have the ChatGPT or OpenAI account? Same billing issue, Ketan. Okay. Pranav, billing issue. Okay. Raj also has same issues. Okay. Okay, so looks like in India, they are not giving a free account, and seems like you guys tried a new phone number, but it still didn't give you. So one of the things we can do is I will give you an API key tomorrow, my API key, which I created for this course. At least for the course and the session, we can use that key tomorrow, and I'll leave it open for a couple days so you can play around with it. After that, if you are interested in OpenAI, you may have to pay a little bit of amount on your accounts using a credit card. Is that okay, guys? Hopefully, at least for the course, we will use my, okay, good, Shubham. Okay, so the only thing is if you want to continue to play around with it, and also I think you guys want to learn a bit more, you may have to use your credit card. And as I said, I think it charges $5 initially, and it does not, if you use 3.5 and not 4.0, it does not, your usage or billing doesn't go too high. It doesn't take a lot of money. So I would suggest, if you guys are interested in OpenAI, ChatGPT, etc., to maybe invest a few dollars into that with your credit card. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, again, the housekeeping stuff. So if you see, what I'm also going to do today is give you guys a few project ideas. Let me see here. Yes, sir, I'm able to create an API key. Okay, Snehal, looks like you are able to. That's good. Tomorrow I will, or actually today, after the session, I will give you a few project ideas. You guys are welcome to try those at your own. And if you have questions, we have the WhatsApp group, so you can always feel free to ask me questions. I also wanted to bring this up. In our company, we do have several internship opportunities where we are doing a lot of cool AI stuff, Gen AI. I did show you a couple of things yesterday, Call Express, Physician Express, etc. The only thing we want are the good candidates. I will send a link. There is a paid AI certification test. I think it's about $50 test. We just want good people, so you have to pass 80% plus, and it's an open book test, so it's not very difficult. However, we would like only people who have a good score on those tests. So let me know. You can either reply on the WhatsApp group or ping me if you guys are interested in that. And I'll talk about this later in the course also. Okay, so let me escape here on today's. Okay, if you see some of these sessions here are, we will be starting with session 2 today, HTML and PHP, and hopefully we'll also cover databases. And then if there is time, we will create a books upload code. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll do the OpenAI API part. Okay, so let's start HTML, PHP. It's bigger. And do a slideshow. I think I covered some of this yesterday, so I'm going to move to HTML directly. Okay, several of you may already know. Let me see, someone just says there is user API key and project API key, different things. Nehal, are you able to show your screen? I can answer that question real quick. Let me stop share. Snehal, I can, if you can show me your screen, I can reply to your question. Okay. And every one of you should have share capability today in the Zoom. I tried that. Okay, so user API keys. No, this is correct. So if you click on create new secret key here. Yeah, now you can call it maybe chat book or session or whatever your name. The only thing is when you create the secret key, the key which it shows, make sure you copy it and keep it somewhere safe because it will not show that key to you again. Okay. So you can stop share if we don't need to see your key because it's a secret key.
So,
but this is
created an API key in the project section earlier, just a minute before.
In which section?
Project section.
Oh, let's see, where is that? Personal user API keys.
This one.
Okay. I think, you have this copied somewhere?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see, we'll use this one. If this doesn't work, then maybe we'll create a different one under your user keys. But for now, let's this should be okay.
Can you please pardon?
I was saying for now, we can use this key when we start creating the code. If this doesn't work, then we'll create the other user key, okay? For now, you can leave this one as long as you have copied it somewhere.
Okay, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna share. And I'm going to go back to my screen. Okay, so as I mentioned, guys, because we have a big crowd of people, so we will go through HTML just at a very high level because most of you already know it. So I'll try maybe spending only a couple minutes on this. But we have to create a small HTML program so that I'll show you how to copy on your web host and all of that, so that when we actually do the chat API, you would be able to do this also. Okay, so let's go. HTML, basic structure, okay, common HTML tags. I think most of you know HTML head, body, title, h1, image, etc. Right? Go to here. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time. Basically, if you are writing an HTML program, you would have your HTML tag. It should always close. Many browsers don't give an error, but it's a good practice to always close your start opening and closing tags. So within HTML, you have an head where you provide the title for the page, and then you have the body, and inside body you have all these different tags. So h1 is header 1, image, and then I think for each of these tags you have the properties. So for example, for image you have the source and where that file is. Okay. So before I go to PHP, let me escape here. I'm going to share the other screen. Okay, so what I want everyone to do, if you have created, so today is going to be a little more hands-on. So hopefully you have your laptops and other things available. If you have created your web host free website, please log on to that and work with me in parallel. Go to your web host. You would have seen there is a file manager. Let me make this smaller. There is a file manager, and also there is a databases manager. Let me also keep the chat open, so in case anyone wants to ask a question, please feel free to ask, or you can even unmute and ask the question. So we will go to the file manager today. This is what you should be seeing. Public HTML is where all your files would be, and you should have, let's go here. You should have a website, whatever name you have given to the website. You can come here and click, and that is your website for now, right? We will start creating something inside that website. Inside the public HTML, I want you guys to go on the top here and create a new folder and call it uploads. Okay. What you should also see is what are the permissions, generally read, write, execute, read, write, read, dash, execute, read, dash, execute. So hopefully you are following this with me and working through this, okay? Now, inside uploads, you click on inside uploads. Let me actually see if I can share. I would like you to get any JPEG file, .jpg from internet, and copy that file in here. So for example, I have a file. I have a file here called bookgeneral.jpg. We will use some of these books files, and this one actually just looks like a book. Okay, so if you maybe go to Google, get the book or any file, and then what I want you to do is here create a new file. Actually, I think we want to upload actually files. So click on upload files, and select files, and I'm going to copy a book general file here. Okay, hopefully you guys are following this with me. If any questions, feel free to put it on chat or unmute yourself and ask me the question. Okay, now that you have done this, you can go back one folder up. I think you can actually click on public HTML, and this is how your directory should look like. Now what I want you guys to do is create a simple program. So repeat, okay. So you should be logged into your 000webhostapp.com shares, and within there, actually here, go to File Manager, click on File Manager. It should open this page. Sorry, it should open the public HTML. There, create a new folder. You create the new folder by going on the top here, a plus sign and a folder sign. Click on that and create a folder name uploads. This is where we'll be uploading our images of the books as we go along in the course. Okay. Make sure it is read-write access on this. And inside uploads, for now, go inside uploads and manually create a, go to upload files, select files, and manually upload a file, a JPEG file. You can name it Book General or whatever. And you can get that file from internet, any JPEG file. I don't know if I can send a file on chat here. Let me see. Probably not. So, oh, there is a file. I can give you a file, you guys. So from your computer, let me get it here for you guys. Okay, so I have just shared. No, PNG is also allowed. Only thing is, when we write the code, you'll have to call it PNG. So it can be whatever name you guys are putting. Okay. Now, maybe you can open Notepad and write a very simple HTML program. I have the code in here. You can either copy this, and in a few minutes, I'll put that code on the chat also. but you guys maybe start with a very simple HTML program. I'm assuming this is, you guys all know how to write the HTML. I think most of you said you are proficient on HTML, but if not, then please ping me on chat and I will help you. So anyway, we are doing an HTML here, putting a head, a title. This is just an HTML test page. And then this is where we are putting the image. I created this directory, right, uploads. And this is where you will give the name of your JPEG file. Now, I think Shreyas, you were asking if PNG is not allowed. It is allowed. You just need to call it PNG here, whatever name you are giving. Okay, so once you have done that, come back to public HTML and upload your file. So I'm going to select files, and I just called it as example.html. You can call it whatever, and upload that file. And now you should be able to go back to your website. And here at the end, you can say slash example.html. And this is what you should see. Very simple HTML program. I'm assuming most of you know HTML. That's why I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. But if you want, and you are having issues, please ping me or on the chat. So I'll give a couple minutes. I'll wait here for every one of you to complete this exercise. Let me open the code here, very simple code. Okay, Snehal, step back. You want to go on the file manager, or so when I went to file manager, let me keep this here so everyone can see the questions also. So you would actually go to the file manager. We created in public HTML. You have to be careful that you are on public HTML. You are creating a new folder on the top here called uploads. You are going to uploads and uploading a file, whatever name you give. Come back to public HTML, write your code, example.html or whatever you want to call. Make sure when you put the image, you are doing uploads / the name of the file you guys did. Once you have uploaded it, open your website, which is whatever name you gave here. It should have an arrow here. When you open that, at the end, put the name of your HTML, which you just created. I don't know why this does not go to everyone. Okay. Okay, if you are not able to get this working, let me also give you the source code to everyone. Should be again very simple. Is example.html. You can copy this make changes based on what file you saved, and copy the file, and should be able to run it here. Okay, anyone who has not finished this and would like me to wait a bit more, please put it on the chat or speak up. Okay, since I'm not hearing back anything, I will go to the next chapter. Last time? Okay, I'm gonna start then. Was there a question? Okay, so then let me share the other screen. This was writing your first HTML, should be a piece of cake for you guys. You are all computer science students, final year, right? So let's now go to the PHP. This is going to be a little, I think most of you said you don't know PHP, only a few of you had replied that you know. So I'll spend a little extra time on this. One of the things I did mention yesterday, PHP is highly used in various websites, a lot of startups, and a quick project if you guys have to do. Someone did ask yesterday Node.js, and there are other server-side scripts which are available. PHP is very simple to use, and like I said, 80% of websites use WordPress, and WordPress uses PHP. If you do get, let's say after you finish your college and you are doing a startup or maybe some website for a bigger company, and if they are using WordPress, it's most probably you would have to use PHP. So it's a good idea to at least spend maybe a few days and learn PHP also while you're learning many other new technologies. Go through some of the slides here. So hopefully everyone can see my introduction to PHP slide. Okay, so it's a hypertext preprocessor. Like I said, it's widely used in open source scripting and very suited for web development. And HTML, inside HTML, it can be embedded very easily. Server-side language, so anything you do on the browser, when you are asking, when you're sending anything to the server, PHP processes it and replies back with the answer. Okay, which means the code is executed on the server and the result is sent to the client as plain HTML. Why PHP? It's very easy to use and very easy to learn for beginners. If you do come to do any internship with us, most of our projects are on PHP, GenAI, and MySQL database. Okay, open source, again, because it's open source, free to use, and a lot of developers out there. So if you have any questions, there is a lot of support. It can run on various platforms, Windows, Linux, Mac OS. So I know a lot of web servers are on Linux or Ubuntu, some Windows also, but PHP can run on any of those. Compatible with most of the servers, Apache, IIS, etc. We will see this example here. PHP can be embedded directly into HTML, and so it allows for dynamic content generation and integration with HTML. Okay. Also, it has very good database support. And we will be connecting to a database in this course. We will use MySQL, which is again a free tool. and then any other SQLs. I think yesterday someone asked about MongoDB, so you can also use with that. The scripts are executed on the server, which means they are optimized for performance. So like I said, several startups and many websites use PHP. It's very good in performance also. So it doesn't take a lot of time doing the server-side scripting. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, wide adoption, WordPress for sure. Facebook, Wikipedia are built using PHP. So if you see a lot of big sites have been built using PHP, and it's highly easy to use. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay. Sorry, I was just having some water. So for any PHP code, this tag is what is used for creating the PHP file. Let me bring example PHP, which we will be creating. Let me bring it here. So within the HTML, you can embed PHP. And whenever you start PHP, it has to be this question mark, this sign question mark PHP. And then you end it with question mark greater than sign. Anything inside this is the PHP code, which will run on the server side. Okay, around that, you can keep your HTML code. So that's very important. Anything you do within PHP, you have to start with this PHP and close with this. If you are creating any variables, a $sign is needed, variable name, and then the value. And the value is, if it's varchar, it has to be in double quotes and semicolon. Okay. If you want to print something on the screen, on the web browser, echo is the statement, and then you can put whatever you need within quotes. And every statement is closed using the semicolon. If there is a condition statement, and I'm just giving this at a high level, but a little bit details. I think I sent to you guys a link this morning or yesterday for you guys on where you can learn a little bit more syntax on PHP. So feel free to use that sometime today and then maybe learn a bit more. Just like I said, the variable name, in this case, we're saying a variable value is 10, always close with semicolon. And the conditional statement is if statement, condition, and then within these braces, the if part, and then the else part. Okay, so if you see this brace closed here within the if, and then else closed here, and then we have an echo statement in between. Any questions so far? Okay, so let's go to the next one. And most of this, I think I'm taking all the basic things. I'm sure with any other language, you have already learned these. It's just that every language has its own nuances, and you just need to know the syntax. Right? Let me see if we had a for statement in here. We actually didn't. So, but anyway, if you have loops, there is a for loop for a variable, initial condition, or initial value, the condition, and an increment on that value. Again, within the braces, the for loop has whatever you want to do. So in this case, we are echoing something. And this is an HTML tag, right? As we said, within PHP, HTML can be easily integrated. We won't be, I think maybe in this course, we will be writing a function, but just in case. So if you want to encapsulate anything in a function, You start with function, give the name of the function. These are the parameters, one or more parameters. And once again, within the braces, everything in the function, and then you call the function. So in this case, I'm saying echo, calling function with the name, and it's just saying hello. Go to the next one. Now, this is what we will be doing a hands-on exercise today. And as you see, we are slowly building towards our Gen AI course, right? So at the end, we'll be able to do add Gen AI into this PHP, the API key which you guys have created. But I'm just walking you through step by step as the building blocks. So as I mentioned earlier, PHP is easily embedded in HTML. So here is our HTML tag. We have the head tag, we have the body tag. We did have our H1 tag earlier. Welcome to our site. You already know P is a paragraph, right? Now within this, we want to go to the server and get the date, today's date, right? So we are adding the PHP code here, doing an echo and calling a function, date function of PHP, and giving it a format, year, month, date. Again, for our course today, we can create something similar. And as I said, I sent you the link to learn PHP. And then for the portion tomorrow, we will have a little bit more PHP coding done. This is giving the date today, and then also just saying hello world. Any questions? Because we are going to be creating this as the next step. So let me know before we start if there is any question. Okay, so let me stop sharing this one and share my other screen. Okay, so we did the HTML part, a simple example.html. Next, we are going to create a PHP page and add it to our website. Slowly, we are building to go towards the Gen AI, right? Again, go to the file manager, which is here for me. Create a new file. One of the things, the extension of the file has to be .php. Okay, let me keep my chat window open in case any of you have a question. So the extension of the file is .php. You can name it anything you want. Once you have created this, you have to go and make sure you are on public HTML, upload files. And in this case, I'm calling it example PHP, upload. And now we will be running example PHP.php. And if you see, our code was welcome to my website. Today's date is, now this part, it actually went to the server, right? We are on the browser here. But to run this part, it actually went back to the server, got the date, put that date, and then continued with the rest of the code. Okay, so next exercise is you guys, I'll stop here. You guys create a file. Again, you can do it on Notepad. Create a code, something similar to this. You are welcome to make any creative things in your code, but then copy it to the web server and then make sure it is running. So I will stop. If you have any questions, please feel free to. So this will not work if you make it HTML. It has to be PHP, Himanshu. But as you saw, the HTML is embedded within the PHP. Good question. So let's take maybe 5-7 minutes for everyone to try this out. Save it on your server and let me know how you make out. As you are getting this ready or done, can you put it on the chat that you are done? Please, maybe a few of you, then we can continue to the next step. Okay, thanks, Om. Yeah, good. So I'll keep 5 more minutes for everyone to do this. Okay, Shraddha, thanks for putting on chat. Ashish, good. Let me just leave it here so everyone can see. Chetan, Harushi, Pranav. We have 80 plus people on this session today, so I'll wait for a few more minutes. Let me copy the file here in case anyone wants to computer example PHP. If you want to copy the code, that's fine. Okay, anyone needs more time? I think we have, like I said, 80 plus people on the session. Hopefully everyone is following it. It's not too difficult. You guys are all computer science final year students. Okay, should I continue? Anyone wants to, if you guys are still working on it, can you put it on chat? We can wait for a few more minutes. Okay, if not, then I'm hoping all of you have now finished 2 exercises. You have 3, you have a file in here in uploads. You have 2 files in HTML, simple HTML, and a PHP file now. Okay, let me share my other screen. Okay. So we just did a simple PHP program. We will build on top of this for doing a Gen AI call. Okay. I think you did test your site. Hopefully no one had any issues. So if you do, please ping it on the chat. Let me open the chat again. Okay. I will probably put these things, these links on the WhatsApp group. There are HTML resources. I'm sure you guys are actually very good on HTML, but if you want to learn a little bit CSS. If you have not done that, it's also very good to know to style your websites. Okay. There are additional resources for PHP. I think I sent this one this morning or yesterday to you guys. There is, of course, W3 schools, tutorials, Geeks for Greek, modern PHP, and there are some books also. So if you want to buy any book, there are some good books which I mentioned in here. Okay. Let me open the floor for any questions. I would also, one of the homework assignments I would ask you guys to do is look at form. This is used for submitting the information from web browser, link. So you can have links on your web page, which is actually uses Ahref. You can create tables within PHP, or actually part of this is actually HTML. Button, text area, etc. This probably these you know. In PHP, maybe $post, $files, $session. So the links I have sent you, or I'll send you more. Feel free to learn about these, some of these. Any questions? Let's wait for a minute before we get onto the databases. I would like to answer if there is any question from anyone. Okay, either you guys are understanding everything which is being said, or it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock now. Hopefully everyone is awake and working with me here. Okay, so let's get to the next one. And let me share my screen. Okay. Before we get on to GenAI, again, the last part of the building blocks is the database. We will be using a database. We will be creating a table, and we'll be storing our books in that table. And using PHP, HTML, we will be retrieving the book and showing it to the user, and doing a chatbot where the user will ask the question and AI will respond to that question. Okay, so I think most of you again replied that you know databases, and I'm sure in first 3 years of college they would have taught you databases. But we'll go quickly through these, and we'll create some tables on our website. We'll go to the next one. Introduction to MySQL. Now, can anyone maybe reply on chat what databases have you used? I know someone replied yesterday MongoDB. Anything else people have used? Okay, MySQL, Kalpesh, MongoDB, Redis. Okay, MySQL, MongoDB. Okay, good. MongoSQL, NoSQL also. Okay, great. That's good. So several of you have used, and I'm sure you know the create, delete, all the CRUD statements, etc. So we will look at how do we set up MySQL database on our web host. Again, this is a free web host we are using, but if you have any, as you create any other project, you can use any web host, and that should have MySQL databases. We will be creating a table for our project for GenAI. The name of the table is books. It will have name of the book, the image, the author in the description. Because if you remember on our, the actual scenario is the user selects a book and then it asks questions to the author and the book and any kind of questions AI would reply. And then we'll also look at connecting PHP to MySQL. If you have used any other language, that should also be able to connect to MySQL, but we'll use PHP. Okay, let me see. So MySQL, looks like several of you have used it, but just going through some theory slides here. It's an open source relational database, again, very much used in websites. And also, I'm assuming several of you may be interested in maybe some entrepreneurship and startups, etc. You can use MySQL PHP to create your websites or any products for your startups. Widely used for web applications and a strong community again. That's why, similar to PHP, we use MySQL. It's open source, high performance, scalability, flexibility, and security. So we will go to our web host and we'll create a database. I'll walk you through that. Let me just make sure. Okay, I'm going to stop share here. If you guys want to follow along with me, or first just watch what I'm doing, and then you can go and create your database. So let me share the other screen. If you go back to your main website at the on the panel, there is, if you scroll down, there is databases. There is a PHP MyAdmin. This is like a front end to connect to your MySQL database. You click on this. Let's see what's, maybe I don't know if I have it open or I'm sure here. Let's close this. Let me refresh this. Maybe it was not connected. Yep. So click on databases. My PHP MyAdmin. You may not see a database already created, so you'll have to click on Create New Database. It will ask you for a name, user, etc. Right? Very important that you know what the user of your database is and also copy the password which you use to create the database, because we will be using those credentials in our PHP to connect to the database. So copy the user, your password, and the name of the database. Once you've done that, once you've created the database, you can click on these three dots and then open PHP MyAdmin. I don't know if you guys have already, maybe if you work with MySQL, maybe you have also worked with PHP MyAdmin. It allows you to see your databases, and within that database, so here are your databases. This is the one we just created. There is a place here to write your query, SQL. So you can select star or create table, etc. You can export, import the data, and several other things on this. Okay, on the left-hand side is your database which was created. And you can either create a table here, or you can use the script to create the table. So I think, let me see if I have the script. So, 1 second. Okay, so we will try to create a table named books, and as I said, you can either create directly here number of columns and create, or you can use a script to do that. What our books table would have is an ID. You see here it's a type int, and it has an auto increment. What that means is when you add a new record, it'll give an ID, which is a running number. And that's also the primary key of this table. Okay. It has the name of the book, which is of type varchar. 255 cannot be null. Again, you can increase this size. As the image URL, this is where we created that uploads directory. So that's where the URL of that book which we create will go. Name of the author and a description of the book. Okay, you can put it on the SQL here and click on Go. It should create, okay, maybe my connection is good. I don't know what this is doing. Let's try again. Okay, so it created the table. If we go back here in our database on the left-hand side, you would see table books. You can click on insert here and add the data for this. So, any questions so far? Let me give you the script for the table, not to one person, actually to everyone. And put in here. So once again, let me walk you guys through this again. We came to our website here, and I think under dashboard, we clicked on PHP My Admin. If you do not have a database, create a new database. Remember, maybe put the name of the database, username, and your password, which it asked, in some notepad. We'll use that in PHP. Click here, go to PHP My Admin. Copy the script I gave you for creating the table, or you can use your own script. Go to SQL and create that table. I'll give a few minutes for everyone to do this exercise. Please, again, on the chat, let me know when you're done. Okay, Pranav, you're done. Good. It'd be a simple thing for you guys. Please keep mentioning here on the chat if you guys are done. Okay, Chinmay. Shubham is done. Good. as you guys are getting done, you can also, I think I'm sharing this. So you can also do an insert on your table just to test it out. You can do an insert statement. Let me make sure I show it here. So insert into books, you have ID, you don't have to insert because it's an auto increment. Name, image, URL, author, and description, and give some value. So probably whatever book you want to chat with, you can give the name of that book. Image, I think we already stored an image under uploads / whatever name you had given to the image. Add that. Give an author name. So if you are doing that Lord of the Rings, you can try that, give the name, and then also provide some description. If I go back to our product we had, book chat, we take a fiction novel, and maybe here, so that is the author. Book name is Lord of Rings. And I'm just going to copy some description from here. And I think my image was called book genre. So this is how your insert statement should look. Let's see, let me actually first try it. Semicolon, Lord of Rings, there is some error. I think it doesn't like this. Yeah. I'm going to give you this also to everyone. Okay, if you want to insert a record in your book. Okay, is everyone done? Or is anyone not done? Maybe if you can. Okay, Pranav, good. So you have a record on your table. Good. Okay, should I continue, guys? Tell me if I should wait some more for everyone to finish this, because these are again the building blocks of the final product. So if you are not done here, you'll have problems in our final presentation, right? That's the final code. Where can you see the table? You guys have seen my screen, right? On the left-hand side on your PHP My Admin, if you click on your database here, you should see the table books. If you click on that, and if you have inserted the row, you can see the data which we just inserted. Nehal, are you not seeing it? We can look at your screen. You can share. Let me stop share. So Snehal, whenever you are ready, if you can share your screen, if you're still not seeing and have a question. Okay, let me share my screen. So to create the table, I think Snehal, the question is how to create the table, right? You can see my screen, right? Okay, so maybe let's start here. On your dashboard, go to the databases, click on PHP My Admin. If you do not have a database, you can click on create a new database. It will ask you for a username and password. Make sure you copy the database name, username, and password somewhere on your text pad. Click on these three dots, click on PHP My Admin. Are you okay till that step, Snehal? I'll go slow so that you can follow. Okay, great. Then, so you have the database now. Click on the database, go to SQL, and here you can create the table. Now, let me recopy the code I sent. You can copy this code and paste here and click on the button Go here. That should create a table called Books. Let me know when you're done, or if you have a question, let me know. Done? Okay. Then the next step is to insert the data. Again, this is just an example, but you can create your own name of the book and other things. So what is it saying? Leave yes. Oh. Leave yes. And in the books, you should have a record. Let me know when done. And anyone else has the problem, please feel free to ask now, because we will be building on top of this and it'll be difficult to come back and create the table again. Okay, good. Okay. Sure. Yeah, sure. I'll share the recording and hopefully the code also, so that all of you can, during the day today, finish these exercises if you have not done that. Okay, so let me continue. Stop share that screen, come back to my other screen. Okay, so we created a table for our project. It's called books. Let me move this guy out. Let me make sure I have the chat window open. So in case you guys are asking the question, where is my chat? Oh, should be here. Okay. Okay, so we just created a database. We created a table. That our table had a name, image URL, both of type varchar. We have an author varchar, and we have a description. And then ID was our primary key. Okay, after that we inserted into books some data. You can create more data if you want. So the next step is from our PHP, we want to be able to connect to this database and retrieve the tables or the data, right? If you, let me actually bring this screen here. So when you are on the website, right, you want to be able to, on that page, you want to be able to connect to your database and bring the list of all the books which you have, right? Because this is PHP server side and HTML. Let me move that out. The way to do that is in the PHP MySQL connection. You use MySQLi connect function and create a connection. So MySQLi connect, that's a function which allows a connection to the MySQL in PHP. There are 4 parameters which you give to the connection. What is the host, where the database is, the username, which you just created, the password, and the name of the database. Now, why is this host required? In some cases, you'll see, and we do this also in our projects, is the database may not be on the same machine as your rest of the Apache server or your PHP or any of the code, right? You may have, for load balancing, for performance, etc. You may have a server which is somewhere else, which hosts your data in database, and then you may have another server which only has your application. So since you want to be able to connect between those 2 servers, this is what that address of the server is. Sometimes this is the IP address or the actual DNS of the server. Since we have everything in the single host, our PHP, our database is everything on the same server, you can get away by just saying localhost. And again, several websites, startups, etc., they all use localhost because everything is in a single server. Once you have created the connection using MySQLi Connect, I think we discussed if conditions in PHP. This is saying not, okay, this symbol. So this is saying if not connection, that means the connection was not able to be set up, then die and just give an error. And this error is coming from what was the connection error. These are good for troubleshooting if you have either not given the correct server here or username, password, etc. If anything is wrong, it will give you an error, and you can, based on the error, you can troubleshoot to say, okay, what was the error? If not connection that, else just connect it successfully. So this would allow you to connect to the database. So sample PHP script. Now, actually, let me go back here. So if you, the function is asking for the server name, username, password, etc. The way we'll write the script, we'll have each of these 4 parameters as variables, right? So your server name. So that way, if you want to use this anywhere else in the code, you can just use this these variables. A good practice when you maybe are writing in a professional environment is to take all of this, put that into a different file so that it's not shown to it. Let's say if you're opening the code or you're showing the code to anyone, all of this should be in a separate file and you just include that file into your code. That's a better practice to do. We will not do that in our current project, but if you are working on a bigger project, that's a better practice. So 4 variables. You'll give localhost, you'll give your username, your password, and database name. You'll make a connection and rest of the things in here. Once you have connected, you'll write a select statement, again, a variable, SQL, select various things from books. And again, please, guys, stop me if any of these you don't understand. You can unmute yourself, ask the question, and put it on the chat. So what we are doing here is after we have made the connection to the database, we are getting the information from books into a statement. And then using that connection, let's go back here. We made this connection called $con, right? You can name it anything. But you have to use that same connection when making the query to the database. So in here, we are saying $connection, and this is the way in PHP to run a query. We are running the query. The query is $SQL. Okay. Once this query is run, it brings the data back in the result. Now, what it does is there could be multiple rows, right? So this result is holding the first row of the set of records. If you have multiple, that result is at the first one. So the next script is, or next line is, if result number of rows, right? This num underscore rows is a PHP variable or attribute. If results number of rows is greater than 0, then only I want to run rest of the things. Otherwise, I want to just say no results found. So if you didn't insert a row in your table and you run this script, you should see 0 results. But if you did insert 1 or more rows, your if condition should go inside here and it should output data of each row. We looked at while or for loop earlier. You can use for or while, whichever. While the row, we are returning the results fetch association or fetch row. You can use fetch row also, is gets the first row. And then it moves the pointer to the second row after it fetches. Brings it in a variable row. This row now has everything for the current row, meaning ID, name, and author. Okay, so since we have inside the row all the 3 columns or whatever we selected, now we are just echoing it. We're saying ID colon row, and inside that we are giving the column name. And in PHP, dot allows you to concatenate. Okay, so the output should be ID, actual ID. Then it will have anything inside here is a text. It should have dash name colon. And then the actual name would come from this variable. Dot, again concatenating, you're putting some space and giving the author name. And then at the end, again, this is a good practice to do in your code to close the connection. If you don't do this, what happens is you might have or you actually might not have seen because you're still students, but in businesses, if these connections are not closed and like thousands of people are connecting, there are all of these open connections, and you have to then clean the garbage, etc. I'm hoping you have learned all of that in the college. I'm going to stay here for a minute. Any questions on this? We are going to write this code and you're going to try this out. But take a minute to look through this again and let me know if any questions. Okay, if not, let me see what's the next slide. This is basically, I think it's similar to the last slide. It's just a little bit different. It has a UL, echo UL. What UL does is a listing. So maybe we can try that, and then it lists each row more in a better fashion. So a UL and LI, and again, these are all PHP scripts. So you will, if you are interested, you can learn using the links I had sent to you. Okay, so let's try writing this code as the last exercise today. If we have time, we'll try to upload the books also. If not, then we can do that tomorrow along with the Gen AI. So let me stop share. And that and share my second screen. And keep my chat window open so that if you guys have any questions, I can answer those. Okay, so this is what we are going to do next. Open the PHP. Let me take this away. Here. Okay. So as we looked in the slide, we are going to give the server name, as I mentioned, localhost or any IP address, your username, your password, your DB name. Okay. And then you'll create the connection, new SQLi. If there is an error, you will troubleshoot the error. Otherwise, you'll say connected successfully. You'll select something from the books. We'll run the query. If number of rows are greater than 0, then using the while statement, we'll display those books, and then we'll close the connection. Okay, example DB. So we'll go back here. Dashboard. Once you have written that code, I'll actually give you that code on the chat. So we'll go to the file manager. Okay, keeps kicking me out. Let me log in again. What happened here now? Let's see. Log out, log in again. Okay, you'll go to manage. By now you guys know all this. Go to file manager. Make sure you are on public HTML. And I'm going to upload my example DB. Load. And then I'm going to .php. Okay. So what happened was I didn't give the password here. If you see here, I think I have it ... I need to give the correct password, but it's good troubleshooting. You see here it's saying uncaught SQL exception, access is denied for this user. Using password is yes, however, the data is not correct, right? If I give my password here and then connect again, it should, oh, we are only able to see Notepad. Okay, let me share again. Thanks for letting me know, Himanshu. Where is my share screen? Can you see the whole screen now? Not only Notepad, but in the back. Can you see the error I got? Okay, great. So what I did, I had this Notepad. I went back to the host. I went to the file manager. I went to public HTML, and I copied that file, example_db.php here. And then I opened the website and I ran /example_db.php, and it gave me access denied because my user ID password connections or password wasn't there and connections were wrong. So, but if I keep all of that correctly, it would have given me the correct data here. But this is good because I was able to troubleshoot based on this that there was something wrong. Okay, so since this is a little complex, I'm going to give you this code on chat. Please try to create this, try to understand the code also, and make sure you are giving your user ID, your password, and your DB name here. And hopefully by now you should have one record on your books table, so you should be able to see that record. Okay, so let me go back to chat and click on everyone here. Actually, sorry, let me, instead of that, give you the file. File, sample DB. Okay. So please try that. I will stop here, or pause here, actually, not stop. While you guys are doing this, let me know if any questions. Let me stop share also, so I'll try a few things here while you are working on this. As you guys get done, please put it on chat that you are done. Okay, let me see where you guys are. Okay, some of you are done. Chinmay, Himanshu. Let me share my screen. So I did try to fix my user ID password, and when I ran this example db.php, it's giving me ID, one, name, Lord of Rings, and all that information. So all of you, whatever name or record you have added, you should be seeing that. If you guys need more time, if some of you are still working, please let me know. Okay. Okay, so in the interest of time, as I have already sent you the example db.php. If you guys are still working on it, we can do it after the session today. Let me continue so that we close on time, and I'm sure you guys have other classes, etc., to go to today. So just a recap, today we went over, let me actually open another screen here. So I'm going to open this housekeeping again, which we started, right? So we went over HTML today, PHP. We also did DB, databases. Like I said, tomorrow we'll do the OpenAI API integration. This is where you would actually be using the API key. I will pass on my key to folks who were not able to create an ChatGPT AI. And we'll see if we finish tomorrow or if we need one more session. You already have a website account. Some of you were able to create an OpenAPI account. Others, if you want to continue playing with it, see if you can put a credit card for $5 or so. I will be sending some project ideas, so you guys interested, make sure you look at them and you can ask me questions about those ideas. And as I said, yeah, one of the major things we are trying to do is have some internships. We have a few projects. We want interns to for you guys to be internshipping for them. That actually needs a certification test. You should be passing 80% on that, and it's an open book test. Basically, nowadays all these syntax on PHP, etc., they are not needed to be. You don't need to remember them. You can always use internet to write code, right? So that's why the test is open book. So any questions? So tomorrow, what we'll do is, let me walk you through. Tomorrow, we will create form, which is uploads. It will actually let you upload your tape or books. So let me actually give an example here. This is what we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll create a form. It'll be like this. It'll allow you to give a book name. All of this, what we did using the insert statement, we will use the actual PHP code and on the website, right? This is test. You'll be able to upload an image. I think I need to upload an image, otherwise it won't allow me. And hopefully, so books has been uploaded. So we'll do this tomorrow, and we'll also, I think it should be here. Yeah, so if you see, I just uploaded one more book, test, and tomorrow we will be able to then select the book and also do a chat with this book where you would use the OpenAI and you'll be able to ask a question and it will reply to you on that question. Sounds good? Okay, so 2 main programs we'll write tomorrow. Let me actually walk you guys through here. This. We'll be writing this uploads, which will allow us to upload the new book. And we'll also be writing the final program tomorrow, which is, let me give this my, we'll be creating an index.php, which is this, which would show us list of books. It will allow us to upload a new book and then also chat with the book. So we'll also write this chat.php tomorrow. If you see in this chat.php, I'll walk you guys through tomorrow. It's where we'll be using the API, so ChatGPT request. We'll use our API key. We'll call the API on the ChatGPT, and I'll again walk you guys through. We'll use the models, and we'll send that information to ChatGPT or OpenAI and get the results back. Okay, any questions? That's it for tomorrow, but let me open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask, I'll stay for a few minutes. You can unmute or you can ask a question on chat here. Okay, if you're not asking, let me ask a question. Is the course meeting what was your expectation till now? I know the final ChatGPT is tomorrow, but is it meeting the expectations, or is it too simple or too complex or anything? Anyone wants to give a feedback? Okay, shares, yes sir, thank you. Anyone else? Any feedback? Okay, feel free to ping me directly. I think you have my WhatsApp. So in case you have any feedback, anything you want to mention, I'm happy to answer your questions. Okay, so let me stop share. Anything else from anyone? Last call? Understood all the concepts. Great. Okay, thanks, Shraddha. That's good to know. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good day. We will discuss, we'll have the same time, 8 a.m. your time tomorrow, and we'll write the final version of the chat book. Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. Bye.